So I'd like to demo a couple of grapes, and while I'm doing this, we want to pay particular attention to exactly how we manipulate the paint. We're starting the course off keeping our subject matter really simple so far, and that is so that we can really slow down and take our time in thinking about and manipulating edges and values and paint qualities and getting control over those things. All right. Well, let's have a go and let's see what I can come up with, and if we can give you a few insights along the way. So it really does all begin on the palette, right? And your paint quality. Even on these simple little studies, make sure to give yourself plenty of paint. Right? It's a substance, and you want enough of the substance that if you make a mistake, you got some you can throw away and go back and give it another go. So we have white, we have black, and we have our medium. I'm using the Flemish Marge today, and I think there should be enough left in here. Let's see. Not really. Well, maybe. We're not doing very much. A little small grape, so let's start with that. So let's start with the single grape. Let's think about where this thing is going to go. I want to do a couple of demos today, so our grape, our single grape, let's put right over here. Thinking we'll make it about that size. So with our size and placement, we want to wash or just a really light stain, which means it's going to be mostly medium on your brush. And I'm getting, it's real easy to slam the brush onto the canvas, but see how softly you can touch the canvas. Right? That's going to tune your nervous system much better than doing it as hard as you can. All right, so let's leave a little room for our highlight there. And we're going to leave some room for our transparency. I'll highlight, go up there somewhere. We'll make this grape about this long. And that'll be a soft edge, transparency, and a cast shadow. Yeah, let's see. Okay, something like that. We left ourselves some room to work. So again, just with thinner paint there, I can get that sense of transparency, making sure all these edges are really soft. And I might want to close that up. And so with this thin paint then, do that. And then maybe that transparency is a little bit big. But again, taking our time and being sensitive with it. Then we have our highlight's going to be the thickest paint. So when I pick this up, I don't want it so big I can't. Because we don't want a really large highlight, but we do want the paint quality to be more. like that. And if your highlight gets to be a little bit big, well, you can always kind of scratch it back. We can soften this up here. And what I'm going to do is when I come back with my black paint, we'll work back into this. And we can use that to our advantage. And then while I have the stick out, let's get some of our black paint and think about that, our stem. That adds quite a bit to the work. It's a different sort of mark. Gives a little specificity to it. I like to soften up that edge. Okay, so something like that. And then let's think about how we are going to integrate this into the background. So right now, see, all of this is really, if we wanted this to emerge a little more mysterious, well, maybe we'll let this bottom side rest here, but we could obscure some of this right here and then maybe let this end come out again. Let's see how that changes this painting. So this is just pure black, but just by keeping it quite a bit thinner, it'll read as a different material than the grape. Can you see that? And if you can get, that background paint to read as a different material, or ideally no material at all, i.e. air, then you're way ahead of the game. Okay, see how that changed things there? And then, we could even something like that. And then if we wanted it more mysterious, well, what does that mean? Well, it means that these things will get closer together in value and quality. But this is a very, very fun game to play, just even with a single grape. Set aside an hour or two and see if you can get that playing out. Let's get can we get some movement across the table? All right, see, that'd be kind of fun if we could get a little movement going across there. Okay, make sure this shadow has a little more weight to it. And then that grape too, let's make that grape a little more substantial. Simply by giving it some more substantial paint here and there. Soften some of these edges. Sometimes it's nice to, maybe knock that down a little bit and then come back with the highlight again and reestablish it, because then all of this stuff will read a little bit differently. Got a little bit big on me, so I'm going to come back in and the more irregular I can leave it, probably the better. Okay, something like that. Okay, so you see how that was basically two values, just pure white and pure black. And then by controlling the gradation or the paint quality, how thick or thin the black was, I was able to make that come out. So that was a fun little demo. Why don't you guys give that a go? Pay particular attention to edges and paint quality. You know, if you did 15 or 20 of these, it would be nothing but good. It's going to be very frustrating if you treat it like a task to be completed. But if you really put your awareness on the end of your brush and you're just feeling that paint quality and seeing how it moves and learning to kind of work with the paint quality and not against it, that's really what we're up to now. All right, well, have a good time.